Okay, yeah, we're good to go. Okay, yeah, so the bot of all bots, the king of all bots, is here. Last week, I know we talked about it, um, and I gave some results. I gave some details and some things that we were going to do uh, to make some improvements with the bot. So in about 4 or 5 days, we're actually able to get everything back that we needed. So because of that, it's here. It's fucking ready. It's printing like crazy. So we're not going to be giving out the bot today, but we will be giving it out within the next week or so. Right now, we're just testing settings. And once we find settings, we will run them on live accounts, on demo accounts, and then we will be giving them out. So let me show you the bot. I'm actually testing some settings right now. As you see, it's getting pretty hectic. This is the strategy tester on NT4. You can just test your settings that you have, and you can test back a few months. So this is like one of the first settings that we have. Didn't do the best, but it literally takes like this setting has been running for like 40 minutes just testing back data. So it's going to take us a little bit longer than we expected to come up with really great settings, but probably sometime this week we'll have settings that are ready to go, that are cranking through the mud, passing challenges, getting you bread on live accounts. This is the bot of all bots. We've seen this work in action on funded accounts. We've seen this work on US 30 mini on live accounts and stuff like that. You can look back in the results through the Discord chat. But yeah, it's here. Every single problem that we've had in the past with the bot has been fixed and organized in a way that we can understand. And now that we know how to utilize it, and now that we got the bot of all bots, it's time to just apply. So with that being said, I need to stop this so I can show you what the bot now does.
Oops. Sorry.
Open her up. Actually, here, let me blow my nose right quick. Let me mute my mic. Whew, okay, I'm back. So wow, when you open it up, it looks completely different from before, but it's basically the same thing. But we just added a whole bunch of funk to give it some power to do exactly what we needed. So let me pull up my phone because I have a list of the problems before. I'm gonna go over what the problems were and what this what this update did to fix those. So the first one was the custom trading hours, and the other bot we only had two. It was a start and a stop. But with that, it was working in the strategy tester. But whenever we tested on live accounts and on demo, which is why we do that, it wasn't working. So that has been not only improved and able to work. It now has 25 different times in total. 25 different start and 25 different stop times. So that's very powerful because now we can be very specific about which times we want the bot to trade, which really matters with pairs like US 30, which is a really main bread maker right now, especially with US 30 because it's heavily news related. So now we can go back in the strategy tester and pretty much take out all the news events and test around those news events, and and then test our strategy in depth and get that right. So that was one of the problems before, but it has been updated, and we now it's fucking going crazy. As you can see, I've got so many different ones typed in that I'm still testing, but by the end of the week, we'll have shit that's going through the freaking mud. The other thing that wasn't working was the floating drawdown right here. Floating drawdown again. Floating drawdown is like when you have your current trades out. The current trades, Um, when that hits a certain drawdown amount, which is in the negative, of course, this is one that's set for 4,975. It's 4.975% on a 100K account. It will close all the trades and then it will shut off to the next trading day. So that was the update that we got. Before we had it, but it wasn't working that well. So now we got that working. Next thing we got was the daily drawdown, which works the same way as the floating drawdown, except for this is for the entire day. So it includes whatever you have out, and it also includes whatever drawdown that you incurred already. So, for example, if we already had $2,000 of drawdown, but this floating drawdown is already set at 49.75, the daily shutoff will cut it as soon as it hits the total drawdown for the day of 49.75. That was another thing that we added that wasn't in the last thing, and it's been going crazy. It's been helping us determine what hedge works, what strategy is really working, and then if it doesn't work, we're able to cut our ties and still not risk more than 5% a day, which is the main requirement for almost every single funded challenge. The next thing that was improved, because we had this last time, is the daily profit gain. That one just really wasn't working, but now not only is it working, it's going crazy. That's all I can pretty much say about all this shit is it's going crazy. And then the last thing that was added from before was the second take profit in dollars. You putting money in dollars. How that works is whenever the hedge is thrown, we are able to set the take profit of the original orders and the hedge orders separately from the original take profit. So I have some screenshots from earlier because I'm testing a different setting now. I think it's this one right here. Yeah. So last week when I showed you a setting like this, it would just have a heel up, and then it would return back to, I think you can see my mouse, it would return back to the same low. The same here would go up and return back to the same low. But now that we have the second take profit, we can now say, okay, boom. As soon as the hedge is thrown, like we want to take money. Like this move right here is a $2,700 move. So it was okay. We were trading like normal, The hedge was thrown. It cut $2,700. That's 2.7%. That's like on an FTMO. That's half your challenge right there. And then it kept going. Same thing. Boom. Hedge was thrown. Caught another 2,700. Like right at that point, you're already done with your FTMO. And then keep going. You kept trading, and the same thing. So before we weren't able to do that. It was just one set TP, which meant like as soon as the hedge was thrown, it was taking the same take profit, which was $2 or whatever. But that is a huge advantage because now we can use the hedge to potentially even pass in one day, or like I think this was over like a week or so in time, but you definitely would have smashed that just from two hedges alone. So yeah, those were the things that were added, and again, it's just been going insane. So right now, I'm personally working on a 100K account. This is a different setting, not the one I showed earlier. It's not been doing so well, but it did okay. I'm just gonna go and adjust it so we don't. These little like downward stairs, those are failed hedges, and of course the up peaks are successful hedges. So a lot of this is just going back in the settings and looking at, here, let's look at this. Okay, this is pretty recent. So we can go and look at the time, go to results. Scroll down, you see it's did like 8,000, 9,000 ticks, all the way since the 1st of March that I had this set to test back. Let's see. Okay. Let's go up. This one did well. Looking for the one before this. Right here. Yeah. So even right now, I would say that okay, boom, the bot started placing trades at 14:28, which is 6:28 a.m. our time. Oh no, not my bad. It's 7:28 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So I can just go here in the bot now and say that it said 14:28. I don't want it to trade then. I can just go here and say okay, boom, 14:25. So it'll never trade to 14:28. It would just go to 14:25, and then the bot will turn off. So that alone, like having that time feature alone, and having to be able to go back and strategy test and say, okay, boom, like we don't want to take this big loss. Here, let me go and find that loss from the beginning too. We can say, okay, boom, we're no longer going to go and take these losses because most of the time, I mean, and you'll see this with different pairs. On the call earlier, Coach T said to study your pair, and that's very, 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 very important. Because what I've seen with US 30 and what Jeff has seen as well is that it generally moves the same around the same times. And that is the reason why we're able to use this custom time range and for it to pretty much work for most of the scenarios because unless we're trading around news events, because when news events happen, it's very, very unpredictable about what's going to happen because news just makes the market fluctuate in different ways than it moves normally. So like with this one's at 650. It started placing sales, didn't go so well, and then it tried to hedges out right here, and it stopped loss twice, and that was too much drawdown for the day. We lost 3,000, and then this must have been almost um, 2,000 in total, so it closes out for the day. So instead of us holding through that, I'm going to go in the settings. We're gonna stop it at 650. Let's see here. Start 630. Stop. We can just right at 49 just to be safe. Yeah, and boom. So that alone should fix that hill, and then I'll worry about this one a little bit later. But another thing, whenever we give you this bot, we will definitely have settings that are ready to go, settings that will pass challenges, settings that will make you money. But we still highly, highly, highly encourage you to get into the strategy tester. Probably the next few sessions that we have over Saturday will be about the bot or be about the moving average strategy, but we would definitely be just showing you how to understand how to use the strategy tester, how to create different settings, how to improve the settings that you already have, and just how to work the bot in general. Because it's really great for you to have tools that can do things for you. You can just plug it in and hit the load and hit OK and don't worry about it. But it's also very, very powerful if you know how to work the bot. I was actually the way that I got started. It was with Simon's bot, maybe by in April or something like that. But by that time, I had no idea about the bot or really. I mean, this is last year April, not like a month ago. This is last year 2021 April. I really had no idea about forex bots at all. How I got started was Simon's bot just kept losing, and we were just like, okay, yeah, that's not it. So I just got into the strategy tester, which is what this is right
That's
here.
facts.
I got into the strategy tester, and I was like, okay, boom. If it keeps losing, what can we do to make it win? So eventually, I just got into it. I mean, we didn't make it win, which is why we stopped using the bot, of course. But eventually, I got into understanding how the strategy tester works, understanding what different settings do. So because of my understanding, I was able to help come up with this bot. So I do encourage you whenever we do release this to you guys, definitely tap into We call this the lab. Definitely tap into the strategy tester and dive into it. Even with the settings that we have, you can load them up and maybe try to understand. Okay, boom. When this bot trades here, it's gonna buy like this US 30 is gonna place a trade every 3.25 pips. Just you understanding how the bot works not only makes you a better trader, but it'll also help you just understand the process. So when it does lose, because we do have times where it loses, that's why we have certain capital protection stuff in place. But when it does lose, you can say to yourself, okay, boom, like I already knew it was going to lose. It's okay. My challenge isn't over, or my account isn't over. Everything's okay. It's going to work out. It lost today. It's fine. Tomorrow is going to start again. Everything's going to be fine. Or if not, I can go back in the strategy tester myself and say, okay, boom. Well, why did it lose? What can I do to improve it? Maybe it was too much risk. Maybe I should dial down the risk. Maybe it was the time. Maybe it was the pair. Maybe it was news. Like you'll be able to go in yourself and look through all of this and decide what's working for you and what's not working. Yeah, so that is pretty much. I'm actually gonna. We already added things, which is pretty good. I should get those losses, so I'm gonna start. But the only downfall about this new version, it's not really a downfall, is that it just takes forever. Literally takes forever. Like to process one day, it takes maybe like 5 or 10 minutes. So it's gonna take us a little bit longer to come up with settings that are finessing shit, but give us some time and we're gonna be on their ass. Oh yeah, and lastly, I'll talk about the different size of accounts. We talked about that last time. We will have settings for funded accounts mainly, but Jeff is also working on getting settings for this PAM account. I think he's talked about it before, or if he's reached out to a few of you before about it. But we will have a account pretty much where everyone can throw in on it, um, and we split the profits pretty much. So we're working on account sizes for lower size accounts, like $100, $500, $250, $1,000. But of course, this bot was really meant for funded challenges and funded accounts. So I would definitely keep all that in mind whenever you start to use this bot. Like I said, that didn't work. Let's see why. Yeah, but all this is really just trial and error. This was at 7:55, 7:54. And all of this is just trial and error and editing. Yeah. Start at 8 o'clock. Yeah, trial and error and editing, but eventually we come up with crazy settings, and those will be the ones that we release, of course. But whenever you're doing this yourself, of course, don't expect to get it the first try. I mean, if you do, it's amazing. But even myself, I think I've been working on this for like, we got it like yesterday at 9, so it's been like maybe 30 hours, maybe at most. And I'm still trying to come up with something. So definitely dive in and yeah, tap in, get into it, get to it. So does anyone have any questions? I know Jeff will be here in a little bit. Make sure I talked about everything too. Showed the macros, talked about this, but not really seeing that. Talked about MT4, live funding accounts. Oh, but yeah, but I can say that again. That, oh, go ahead. What do you say, Coach?
No, I was just saying, came a long way from Simon. So
Yeah,
definitely,
came a long way. Came a long
ups
way.
to you, Jay. Big ups to you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We've been all been working again, like Coach T said in the earlier call. Like she's been here since the jump. Like she taught me whenever I first got started into it. So for all of you who are beginners just starting in forex, definitely power through it. There's definitely a lot to come of this. So don't give up so
Mm-hmm.
early. If you get frustrated, just find a strategy, find what works to you, and then power through it.
Right. Definitely. And when you come down to it, I don't know. That's why Jeff was really so into the bots because when it comes to where I'm just gonna be real transparent. It may come to where you may some maybe never really get the full grasp of trading and just never it just never clicks. Um, and that's what these bots are here for. So,
Yeah, facts. I think you were fading in and out, but I think what she said was that it might come to where you think that trading is not for you, or or it's really
mhm.
hard to grasp trading, and that's where the bots really come in because they trade for you, or if you don't know how to trade, you might be good at math, you might not know how to trade, but you might be good at math. You might can go in the tester and say, okay, boom, well, I know that if I subtract this and if it's doing this, if I go and improve this and make this slightly higher, it can do this and it can do that. Like that might be your forte.
Exactly. Do what works for you, not what works for everybody else.
On the hut.
Try